Hey yo, what's up everybody and welcome to the very final episode of Season 1 of Versus here on Two Player Co-op. As always, I'm your host here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother's show, One.
How we doing?
Fantastic. We've come to the end of our journey.
The season finale.
The season finale. What games are we playing today, Sean?
Zombies Ate My Neighbor.
Now, if you didn't see last week's episode, you should have. Go back and watch. It was fantastic. Link to the Past versus Crusader Senti. We're in dead heat right now.
We are. I'm going to be honest, going into this, I would have thought maybe a tie, but I figured Super Nintendo probably would have won 6-4. Not even trying to score every game. Just it seems like Super Nintendo would have won, but it would have been sort of close. But here we are. Super Nintendo's not going to get, neither of them are going to get more than 5. So it's kind of cool that it came down to our last game that's going to kind of decide the overall winner for Season 1.
And it's a game that we both loved as kids. We had it on the Genesis. I think we probably played on Super Nintendo a little bit.
I don't know if I probably did, but I don't know why. I don't know if anybody owned it. I may not have played it on Super Nintendo until years later.
Yeah.
But obviously, yeah, we grew up with the Genesis game.
It's a lot of fun. If you've never seen it, it's a good game. But we got all that out of the way, so let's just jump right into Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I love it. And it sounds so different when you compare the SNES Konami jingle to the Genesis Konami jingle. But so we're starting off with the Super Nintendo version like we do every versus matchup in this series. I love this. This looks so cool. I will be interested to see what this looks like when we get over to the Genesis version. Because that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, where it's nice and smooth, I don't think it's going to look quite as good.
I think it's going to be like when we did Ninja Turtles and Shredder, or somebody went boom, 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 and it was really just... Or no, it was Street Fighter.
Street Fighter
logo went...
But at least it's not mode 7, so it's not going to be totally free.
Okay, so I'm player left. I am Zeke. You're Julie. Did I get those names right?
It's definitely Zeke. I don't know what her name is.
So this is Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Zombie Panic.
Zombie Panic to start out. If there were zombies, you would be in a panic.
Alright, so if you haven't played this game, basically you gotta save all the neighbors, the cheerleaders, the teachers, the babies, the dads, the tourists. Meanwhile, being chased by zombies and other creatures of the ilk. We got chainsaw monsters, we got little Chucky doll things. There's all sorts of stuff you're about to get. There you go. The dog.
Little puppy.
Basically, you gotta save all the neighbors.
Why did they jump over me?
You gotta save all the neighbors and then get to the exit, basically. And you gotta save the neighbors before the zombies ate them. Hence the name of the game, Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Oh wait, that's not right. And yeah, you shoot squirt guns. That's your main mode of weaponry.
And you don't have unlimited ammo.
You don't. You're shooting like you do.
Do any of the other buttons do anything? That's how we pull that up. Okay.
There is a map.
You'll see in the Genesis version one of my pet peeves. So you push L or R to bring up the map that lets you know where that last pesky neighbor is that just needs to be saved.
Over there.
Yes, he's over here. And we got him. Now
the exits pop up and you leave.
That's it.
Lather, rinse, repeat.
Let's switch over to the Genesis. No, I'm kidding. This game is so much fun.
That's pretty much the gist of the game. This is perfect couch co-op. This game. This is one of those games, not literally, but you almost have to play it.
Yeah.
2-player.
Well, especially because the difficulty does ramp up rather quickly.
It does. Yeah.
That first level is pretty easy. I think this one.
The boss fights are very tough in this game. I don't know that we'll even get to one.
How do you switch? I'm afraid to click any button. How do I switch weapons? Stop jumping over me!
Lightning.
V. Okay.
Alright, so B changes your weapon.
X apparently does nothing.
X probably used your item, which you don't have.
Oh, well, yeah, it did something.
And A probably changes the item. Yeah.
Okay. So I used my health for absolutely no reason.
Yep.
And
Soda pop.
Skeleton key.
There we go.
Wow.
5 more. Okay. So, how do you lose? You only lose, I mean, you can die, but you also lose if zombies ate all the neighbors. In theory, you really only have to rescue one.
Yes.
And then once the zombies kill all the other ones, then the exit pops up anyway. So as long as you've rescued one of them, you basically just go until all the zombies or neighbors are either
you really only
rescued or dead.
You lose if you die. Alright, let's go.
Oh, where? Alright, somebody's up here. Oh wait, is there somebody? No.
I think there's somebody way over here, and then there's somebody.
Oh yeah, up there.
I mean, top left. Now,
Mystery potion.
You gotta come down. One of the drawbacks to having both players on the same.
Oh, he killed Indiana Jones.
Not you.
Get! I'm stuck.
Gosh, the zombies.
There we go.
So again, you know, I don't really like zombies, but I love Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Because it transcends the genre.
Where are they in the house? Oh, right there.
And on to level 3.
What the? I took my door. This is another game. Like, how has this game not been remade, reinvented? Like,
I know.
It's so simple.
Well, because it's Konami.
Wow. Yeah. Oh.
Ah, this is a good one. In the shop.
Woo-ha! Woo-ha!
This is the Woo-ha, guys.
Yep.
You'll know what we mean when we get there.
What? Hey, baby. Aye! Sure.
Now, there's been some games in this series that are really different. And there's some games that are very, very, very similar. This is one. Oh, there's the Woo-ha. Oh, but we've got. Oh, damn. Okay. You can also do this. You don't have the key. How do I switch it again? B? Okay. All right. See, she jumped over you too. She didn't want to be rescued. Do not.
Alright, we need some keys. I don't have any keys. I don't know what the skeleton key does.
I thought it would be a master key.
That's what you would think. Here we go. Key!
Oh, let's do this. Yeah, there's something right here. Like, y'all should, like, be trying to run.
Oh, I just used the key.
Yep, you did.
Did not want to do that.
Did not see that coming.
Alright, maybe there's another way.
Now, there was also a sequel to this game called Dual Patrol.
Not very good. I tried it, like, it's more or less the same game, but it's just not
the same. Okay.
And it's one of those things, like, I can't put my finger on it. And maybe if I gave it a fair shot, maybe it would grow on me. But when I first played it, I'm like, nah, not quite the same. Tim?
Tim?
The cereal. Tim? The cereal was called Tim.
Jeez, you smoked me in that one. Level 3 complete.
Is this a boss? This is something weird. Level 4's. That's what I'm thinking. Not a boss
see,
fight,
this is where the difficulty ramps up.
But a pretty iconic level.
I need life.
Oh boy.
Oh, well, you're dead.
Alright. At least got one.
Can we even kill them with the squirter?
I mean, it would probably take 100 shots.
I mean, I've got my bombs.
Oh. I have no Zeus.
Snare in my headphones. Wow.
There it is.
Come here, Jason. Oh! I was gonna say.
Oh, it just knocked me.
Oh my gosh. Oh, he's very angry. He's very fast.
Damn. Nope. Oh no. Oh no.
I don't know where I'm going. Ah! Miss Teacher.
Mystery potion. What? Oh, I'm so fast.
Super fast. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Wait, do the tourists count as 2 people?
Yeah, it's just me.
Because you got 100 and 100. let a baby.
Oh!
He's
Oh no.
Oh boy.
There we go.
Mr. Jason.
Levels like this, I'm kind of just like, alright, just go ahead, just kill the other neighbors.
Right.
We did our part. Let's go ahead and move on before we actually get killed.
How are our neighbors even?
Oh, that's not a neighbor! Oh no.
We gotta go back. We gotta go back! Oh god, there's 2 of them. Yeah, just kill it.
Alright, burger guy. Screw it. Give me the monster. It did nothing, it just makes me fast again.
All that's gonna do is get me killed.
Oh, I do have a health.
I do too! Oh god.
There you go. Kill him. Punch some holes in all the walls.
Oh, I can't use the map. You gotta hit the map. I don't know where we're going. Sean, hit those because I'm low on health.
Bam, bam.
Well,
Back this way.
this is gonna be a waste of the monster. Come on, where's everybody?
Punch. Just punch holes in things so so it creates paths. And then we'll figure out
Well, alright, we got people here. Cheerleader. Okay, go back up.
Oh,
go,
I guess
because
I
I'm about
didn't
to die. Oh, there's something right here. Oh,
Dead.
that was the baby, you stupid. Yep, must go faster. Nowhere to go. Dead.
So do you come back? Yeah, you come back. Fire stick. You're the clown.
I'm trying.
X.
There.
Alright, I don't know where to go. I feel like we've been over here. I think we have to go
I think we
left.
gotta go way left.
Oh. Surprisingly, that inflatable clown did not hold up to his chainsaw. There's somebody. Oh,
Why
God.
are the Grizzlies winning games?
They won?
Yes, against the freaking Blazers. 20 Blaze it! Oh my god, die!
No. There's. Kill her. Or no, I guess this is easy.
Oh my god, you're gonna kill me.
Alright.
Holy god,
This way,
there's
up.
100 of them.
Teacher!
Oh my god, come on, respawn! Get out of
Get
here!
to the chopper! Okay. Woo!
You can see how this game is fun, but you can also see how it does ramp up in difficulty. Every 5 levels, I guess, or is it when you get to the 5th, or is it when you beat the 4th? Because that's completely different. You get the password.
I think, yeah, when you beat the 4th. Because now we're in the 5th.
Yeah. Alright, so this isn't still the boss, I don't think.
No, I think the boss is...
Ah, yes.
man.
These stupid things.
I'll let you get that. Oh, I thought I got my health back when we beat the level.
Oh, that's a weapon?
It's... yeah.
Oh, no. I don't like this.
That's me. Ow!
Well, I guess we're going this way. Ah!
That's what you need.
Yeah.
You get that. I just picked one up. I don't understand. It's great.
I can't.
There's a potion out there.
Where?
That you have to go.
Why can't I open these? Why aren't these doors opening for me? Oh, you. Perfect. Perfect. Down, 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 down. There's a girl.
Ow. Do I have a... yes, I do. How did we... oh, we jumped on the stupid... Alright, let's go... well... yo! Okay, dead end.
I need that. I need that. Why does it happen to me?
Why does it happen to me? Alright, there's somebody there.
Gotta load up.
Luckily, there's no friendly fire in this game.
Yeah.
Alright, there's somebody over yonder. No! Baby. Silverware. Yeah.
Ha! Now, we're inside. I was gonna say, we should be able to open it from inside. Alright, only one more.
Where you at? No!
I feel like we're back at the beginning.
We are. I don't know where we are.
Alright, let's go this way. I do like that this level's kind of a refresh after Jason.
I know we've been here too.
It's gotta be this way.
There, down. Oh, what?
I'm stuck.
Oh, you got it.
First 5 levels complete. You want to do one more?
Let's see what it is.
Attack of the...
Oh, I don't like this one.
I don't think I
Let Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
On the Super Nintendo, I mean, the game is just amazingly fun no matter where you play it. Yeah, I don't want to play this.
You gotta find a friend though. You gotta play this.
Yeah.
2 players. And let's go ahead and see some of the more weapons. So you got soda cans.
Soda Popinski.
You got tomatoes for some reason. Well, okay.
Fantastic weapon. And
Popsicles makes total sense. Why wouldn't popsicles be a weapon?
And why wouldn't they just kill zombies? And then the good old friends.
And you got shoes. Oops, that's it. But anyways, yes, that is Zombies Ate My Neighbors on the Super Nintendo Entertainment
System.
And hey, I got
That
it.
was good. And on that note, let's switch on over to the Genesis version. Definitely sounds a lot different on the Genesis.
Yeah.
We've played a lot of Konami games.
We have back when
They were
good.
awesome. So let's see. Completely different. But it looks pretty good.
It looks good. They just keep it a little more subdued.
Now, you didn't even have options.
Oh. That is very clearly a 3-button controller that they just added XYZ to.
So
I don't know what
I don't know
what
anything is. We'll have to figure it out. So A, B, C. So use weapon. So these are the uses.
So use
Weapon and use.
All right. So use guys. All right. Boom boom. Use.
We'll figure it out.
Whatever.
All right. So Zombies Ate My Neighbors again. Some of the games we've done in this series have been very different and some have been very similar. This is a game that is very similar to say other than the sound.
Well,
Yeah. But they are the exact same game on both systems. So it's good to really just, and that looks exactly like Super
that looks
Nintendo.
identical.
Looks fantastic because there's like 3 colors. Zombie Panic. Oh boy.
Wow, this looks not. Wowee.
The sprites are
black
small.
Oh gosh.
I knew the black bar was there, but I didn't realize the sprites were this much smaller and less colorful.
Golly, this
Everything
looks
is-
worse than I thought.
Man. Oh,
I think
this is-
Julia's wearing like totally different clothes, or at least different colors.
This is sad.
Wowee. I have never played these games
I've never played them back to
one
back.
after another, yeah.
Good thing in this, though, let's give some. Okay, I'll go your way. Let's give some props. At least you got the map up the whole time.
That's true.
It's not going over the gameplay.
And nobody's really playing this game for the graphics anyway.
No.
But still, big difference.
Okay. But as you'll see, the levels are exactly identical. Nothing different. I can't get over how so much smaller the sprites are.
Yeah, Playing the Super Nintendo game, I would have thought more or less the Genesis was identical. Because when we were playing Super Nintendo, I'm like, this is exactly how the game looked when we played it.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's kind of like how a lot of people think like Ocarina of Time on the N64 looks as good as it does on the 3DS.
No.
And it does not at all. Alright, well, let's find these other people.
And they're over here. I don't know how to get to them.
Bow.
You just
Right,
walk.
a little puppy dog. And then bang, bang.
Look familiar yet?
Sounds aren't bad. Now there, the sprites are bigger. Because it's taking up the whole screen.
Right.
Level 2.
One thing I think I remember, which we didn't get to see, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think on Super Nintendo, when you get game over, it's like purple ooze that comes down. And on Genesis, it's red, a la blood.
You're right.
And Super Nintendo, because, ooh, violence, they're like, we can't have that be red. And I think they had it be purple. Did it get darker? Right. Did it do this on Super Nintendo?
I don't remember it doing this.
I don't think it did.
+1 to the Genesis. Some points. Yeah, I don't remember. If it did, we'll see it when we watch it back, or just hit the comment section and let us know. God, I've got like 100 keys, I feel like.
Oops. That was the wrong button.
Okay, so X switches your item.
L switches my gun.
L does? Oh, yeah, okay.
Alright, left.
Where are we going?
Up and left.
Wait,
But
there's a guy in the pool, isn't there?
I thought we got them. No, we must not have.
No, right. Yeah.
Alright, let's go this way. Boing. Boing. Okay.
Alright, gotta go up.
Bam. 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 There we go.
Back this way. Gosh, I'm low on time.
Did Ghoul Patrol come out in Genesis, or was that only Super Nintendo?
It was an exclusive.
Yeah. Of course.
And it came out pretty late, too. Because this was 93, I think it was like 95. Well, what the hell? We didn't even have a chance. I feel like that came out in 95. Could be wrong. So the game's still fun.
It plays exactly the same.
When we
it doesn't look quite as pretty, but
we didn't know we had
right.
I'm not going to say
we didn't know any
version.
better.
I'm not going to do any spoilers for the scoring because this is a big deal. Okay, this is the whole series comes down to this game. Terranile 5. I don't like the way that the bricks look in this.
Mooha, mooha!
I feel like the Muhas are much louder in the Genesis version.
Yeah, I don't even remember hearing them on the Super Nintendo. Popsicles look different. Tomatoes look the same.
Why does she jump over me? I like how you get more points for rescuing the hot cheerleader than you do the old. Oh, they wore blue.
Yeah, that I remember.
But if you rescue just like the tourist, you get like 100 points. But for the cheerleader, you get 1,000.
Look how bad the clown box is.
Yeah,
You can't even tell it's like...
Look at the baby, looks bad.
Not to just totally crap all over this game. This is a very important game in our childhood, but man.
But again, like if we,
But again, it's no less fun.
No.
It just doesn't look as good.
I mean, we put, I'm not going to say hundreds of hours in this. We put tens of hours into this game.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mooha!
What the heck?
He's that stupid doll's gonna kill whoever's over here. Oh. I don't know where the doll went. We just did this. How are we not remembering?
I think it's all the way down here. I am wrong.
You are incorrect, sir.
That is incorrect. We must have missed somebody down here. Nope. Oh.
I think it's to the left. Because everything's to the left. Oh, you're about to die.
Yep. Oh, I don't know how to... Yeah,
There we go.
Okay.
Wooha! Yeah, here we go. Mooha, mooha. There's a stupid baby.
Bam. Why? Okay.
See, Tim.
Yep, Tim.
Tim cereal.
Man, I'm smoking you. What is
Hey.
going on? 2-1 almost.
All right, chainsaw.
Chainsaw.
Chainsaw, hedge maze mayhem.
And I love that this game doesn't take itself too. I mean, not that a lot of games did back then, but this game really does not take itself seriously. Let's see if we can get to. Ooh, there's Indy. You get him. Come back this way.
Oh no. Oh.
I will say Jason looks pretty good. Well, no.
It doesn't sound so good, but he looks mostly okay.
God, is that?
Ow.
Poor clown. Let's see if I got a couple over here. Get that. Her. One more down.
Is that teacher only worth 10 points?
Was that really? Oh,
Unless it was just cut off.
no. I feel like she's gonna die right when we get over to her. If we get over to her.
There. Now he cuts it. Jump into the house! You can't. There's nothing down there. Okay, we're going this way. Yeah, we gotta go all the way up now.
They're so tiny. I've only got one more bazooka left. Now I do have a red potion, so tell me if I should use it. Oh god. Oh god.
You might want to use it.
Alright, so there's a guy up here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Hey, we went the wrong way.
We went the wrong way. We're gonna waste it all.
No, go back.
Oh my god, no!
Got him. Bam. That's not a neighbor. Alright, the other two are down.
Okay.
Once we
Crap.
get burger, dude.
You get 5 points for the burger. 100 points for him and 5 points for the burger.
Oops. I can't. I spend half my time trying to figure out what buttons do. There was a guy inside there. I thought it was going to be a...
But to be fair, oh my god! Oh my god! To be fair to the Genesis, it's because we're playing on the pie!
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
Oh no. Oh, thank you, Mr. Jason, man.
Who's chasing who? Ah! Chasing you!
Alright, we're good.
There's a guy in the... Oh no, they're above us.
Okay.
I love how the chainsaw just sounds like a growl. Oh baby, love made me crazy. Uh-oh, I'm in a bad predicament.
Oh my god, we're screwed. Because I can't get out. Oh my god, I missed.
Oh, there you go. Alright, we gotta go this way.
Meow.
Nope. There. Nope.
Oh
There.
my god. Oh, there she is. Oh, why does it seem like this is more difficult?
Because we don't know what buttons do what.
Okay.
Go. Oh, come on.
Oh,
Alright, we did level 5 on Super Nintendo. Should we do that here?
let's try. Oh, you're catching up. You got the bonus.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh. Did we get that one level early?
No, because now we're going to level 5.
Okay, that's right. That's how it was.
Ah, yes. I got it last time. You get it this time.
Ah, you stupid purple Oh, ouchies.
Ouchies.
Oh,
You need that. Oh, I don't have keys.
there we go. I don't have keys.
That's a purple guy. You got weed whacker. Don't weed whacker. Do you have any
Here,
just
yeah. Blow the door down.
Jeez, it's got some kickback.
Now I got a key. Alright. I'm just sick of using that. I'll use my popsicles. He's just chilling.
Is there ever a pool where there's not a guy in it? Also, he's probably the smartest guy in this game because zombies don't.
Yeah,
like
the zombies
water.
don't go in the pool. I don't even know. Okay, I wasn't sure which one was you. Ah, don't hit me in the head. Ow. All right, let's go. Listen.
Yep, 10 points.
Oh! Oh, there's somebody up here. I'm looking at the wrong person.
What? I didn't touch one.
All right, where are we at? 2 more.
Go left.
Down.
And another round. Oh, baby. One more to go. We're over here and
Burger time.
Let's see who got the score.
You got me.
I think you beat me in the last one.
I think so too.
So it was a tie. Any final thoughts before we go to the scoreboard on Zombies Ate My Neighbors on the Sega Genesis? Sean.
Simultaneously a very similar game on both systems, but also not quite as similar as I would have thought.
It's a dichotomy.
I will leave it at that. Time is a flat circle.
Time is a flat circle. So that's it. Now, let's go to the scoreboard. All right, Sean. On every episode of Versus, after we've played both the Super Nintendo and the Genesis version of the game, we score them across 3 categories. Presentation, gameplay, replay value. Presentation's first. Far and away, the Super Nintendo gets the win here, does it not?
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying at the end of the Genesis playthrough, very, very similar games, but also very different looking. I'm curious, so when we played the Super Nintendo version,
Yep.
I'm like, yep, this looks just like Genesis, maybe a little more colorful, but looks exactly how I remember. And then we saw the Genesis, and it's like, oh gosh, like it almost looks like it's
A Master System game.
well, I was gonna say like 12-bit graphics, if that is
Yeah.
such a thing. Like it doesn't look like a Nintendo game, but it doesn't
Right.
look. It doesn't look like 16-bit. Now, what I'm curious about is if we had played Genesis first, would we have been like, wow?
I think we
Or
would
would we
have
have been like, yep, okay, here we go. And then would we have been blown away by Super Nintendo? Like,
I think so. I think that they're that drastically different.
Yeah.
And not only that, presentation, we mean graphics, sound, music, all that stuff. All of it, it's Super Nintendo.
Yes.
It blows it out of the water. I think the music sounds pretty good on the Genesis, but some of those sound effects, like we were saying, the Jason guys with the chainsaws, they just sound bad. Even the little thing I noticed is just at the beginning where they level 3 and it goes boom. It's like it's just like it's like scratchy or something. I'm like, come on, like there's so many games on the Genesis that have great sound. It's so frustrating when you hear stuff like this, or going back to Special Champion Edition. They and I've watched documentaries and stuff. They took shortcuts there. There's people that have made ROMs of Special Champion Edition and improved the sound. Capcom could have. And if you look at the beta of Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which you need to watch that YouTube video. But okay, I'm getting off on a tangent. Let's just stop there. But yeah, the sound, music, it's just
hands
it's also
down,
Nintendo.
presentation, Super Nintendo.
Not only that, You have the bigger sprites on the Super Nintendo. The
Yep.
black bars,
No
which
black
I
bar.
hate. You put the black bars on the side this time. I do like we said, it's nice that you've got the map up there the whole time, but it doesn't. I don't like the black bars shrinking everything down.
Yeah.
I don't like the black bars. We know that. All right, so moving on to gameplay. Now, to be fair, again, we're playing it on the Pi. We're not playing with an actual Genesis 6-button controller. I think the controls are like identical.
It's a wash. At least, yeah, like you said, how we're playing it on the Pi, I would give the edge to Super Nintendo, but that's just because we're trying to play a Genesis game on a Super Nintendo controller. The buttons don't. It's just it's not very intuitive because of the controller we're using. But I can't fault. I mean, that's not the game. That's not really what we're doing here. Gameplay, I would say it's a wash.
I think
it's the gameplay is identical.
Yep.
I mean, it's the same game.
It is exactly the same. I think it's definitely a tie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and the gameplay is really good. I mean, it's very simple, but it's responsive. I didn't feel like there's any lag issues or anything like that. It does what you want it to. I just don't like the cheerleaders jumping over me every time I try to save them. It's not very nice. We're trying to save you. That's not the gameplay. That's just the cheerleaders jumping. Again, I think it's hilarious that the cheerleaders you get 1,000 points for.
Well,
and you get 10 for the old ugly teacher going, you got an F. You got an F.
save the cheerleader, save the world.
Yeah. What is that from?
Heroes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I never watched it.
I didn't need it. So yeah, that's a tie for gameplay. So now, final category, replay value.
Replay value. Again, I would say it's Super Nintendo but it's really just because of all the other things. Mm-hmm. The gameplay is a tie, but the graphics are just better on the Super Nintendo. I will say, even though the sound is better on the Super Nintendo, part of me, probably purely nostalgia, almost prefers the Genesis sounds, even though I know they're not as good. It is what it is.
It's what we know.
But I tend to lean Super Nintendo here. I think if we had a better Genesis controller, or a Genesis controller to play this game on the Pi, I think that would tilt it a little bit back towards Genesis, but ultimately, yeah, the Super Nintendo is the superior version of the game. Replay value, if you hand me both of these games and I only get to play one, I'm going Super Nintendo. And let's face it, where we're at right now, if we gave this point to Genesis, then the whole season ends in a tie, and that's no good.
Right.
So, I say Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo wins replay value. Again, the controls are exactly the same. It's just, it's more fun to look at. I like the better sprites. I like the colors popping. There was even stuff like on the Genesis version, like with the graphics, like the grass and stuff, it just looks weird.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do with the Genesis. It is what it is. But when the gameplay is so identical, when you've got the bigger sprites and you don't have the black bars and all that other stuff, I really don't think if you have both of these games on a system, there's like I said when we were done recording before we started doing this part,
there's no reason to ever play the Genesis one.
There's no reason. I hate saying that because we grew up on that game and we played it for hours. But again, we didn't know what we were missing out on. To us, it looked great. And if we didn't play the Super Nintendo version right after it, I would have been like, oh man, yeah, this is what I remember. This is exactly how it is. This is awesome. But with all that being said, yes, Super Nintendo wins replay value. That means this final versus matchup, the winner is
Super Nintendo.
All right, so not only did the Super Nintendo win this matchup of Zombies Ate My Neighbors, because they took this one home, the Super Nintendo has won our inaugural season of Versus by a score of 5-4-1. Sorry, Street Fighter 2, you were a double knockout. Any surprises? What do you think about this whole first season of Versus? This is something I've been talking about for a while that I wanted us to do, and we finally got around to doing it with Phase 2 of 2-player co-op. This was a lot of fun. Doing this there's games now that we just touched on for like 15-20 minutes each that I'm like, yes, I do want to go back and play that game.
Yep.
Link to the Past is amazing. We started off with Ninja Turtles, went from there to Castlevania, went from there to Super Turrican and Mega Turrican, which both those games are so much fun. There's just, this is a lot of fun, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, in the end, it's more or less what I would have thought. Super Nintendo won a relatively tight one. I mean, I guess as tight as it can be.
Yeah.
I was shocked going into this at the end that, I mean, I think Genesis, what was, we're back at the old, was Genesis in the lead? Genesis had to have been in the lead at one point.
Yes, because, so we went, this is for a recap, sorry, I'm going to consult my notes here. We went Turtles in Time, Castlevania Bloodlines, Mega Turrican,
Genesis is winning.
Contra 3,
Tied.
Mortal Kombat,
Genesis is winning.
Double Knockout, Aladdin.
Wow.
They went up 4-2, and then we had Tournament Fighters, Link to the Past, Zombies Ate My Neighbors. So they
don't call it a comeback.
Super Nintendo made a comeback. They've been here for years, and they will continue to be here. But
the funny thing is, going into this last game that ultimately decided it, I think, without giving too much thought, just my gut instinct, I was thinking, wow, Genesis won. I just kind of assumed, because it's what we were used to, that Zombies would have won, but it was quite the surprise there. That game is not quite what I remember on the Genesis.
no, at least when you match it up head to head,
Yeah.
it just doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
Still a lot of fun. This series has been a lot of fun. So yeah, this has been episode 10 of Versus. We're gonna be taking some time off because we both have traveled. We're traveling around the world for work.
Yep.
So we're gonna be taking some time off, but we will be back. We've got some ideas for what we want to do for our next season of content, and we're still gonna be doing Let's Plays and stuff like that when we get back as well. So yeah, anything else you want to say?
No, it's been fun. I really enjoy this, and looking forward to the future. See what else we do in the future.
Hey, this has been a lot of fun. This has been Versus. If you guys like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, share the video with your friends and family, tell them all about the good things we're doing over here at Two Player Co-op. And until the next time we see you, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.